Hello, and welcome to a new devlog and a new scene. This scene is the one I'm going to be using for public testing. I just want to root out any major bugs, so you guys are welcome to now join a Discord server. There's a link to it in the description of this video, and on that Discord server there's a public link to a Dropbox download, and that's just a built version of this project. Unfortunately, there is no project with the code. So for those of you who want to use this in your own project, you're gonna have to wait a little while until I do root out any major or super silly bugs. Because I did find one recently, and it's a little embarrassing. Let me demonstrate. So I found out with the old slider code, if you grabbed onto a slider and you rotated, even though your hand would stay the same relative position from the gun, the slider would actually rotate forward or back, depending on which way you were facing. So that's fixed now, but let me demonstrate how it was broken with the magazine loader, because it's still using the old slider code. So if I put a mag in here, so notice my hand will stay in the same relative position to the gun, but if I start rotating, it's going to load that magazine even though I really don't want it to. So yeah, and that will be fixed when I publish a build to the Discord server. And I kind of made a fib last devlog. I said I wasn't going to add any new features until I got a demo scene ready. Well, it's ready, and I added a few new features. So first things first, there's a couple new attachments. We have a foregrip. So realistically, the foregrip won't magically reduce the recoil of a weapon. It's more about personal preference. I mean, the weight will reduce the recoil a little bit. However, in this game, you can set it so foregrips dampen the recoil quite drastically. And that's just for gameplay purposes. So there's a new magnified scope. This one acts exactly like the sniper 8 times. It's just lower magnification, different model. So yeah, that does it for the attachments. I added 2 new weapons, but they function exactly the same as weapons that already existed inside the game. So we have the 1911, and this acts exactly like the Deagle. And we have an AS Val, which acts pretty much exactly the same as the AK. And one more thing, I guess that brings me into the next addition. There is now an eject latch for magazines. It's only on the AK, the AS Val, and the MP5. So the way it works is there's a little collider on the tip of the mag. You just push that forward along the forward of the gun at a pretty good speed, and it'll eject the mag. I might change it so the collision detection works for the whole magazine instead of just a little sphere. Because the way I had it working before was you didn't have to move it forward, and you didn't have to move it at a certain speed. All you had to do was collide it, and it would eject. So that was happening way too often, reduce the size of the collider. But now, since you do have to do those things, it's probably better that it detects the whole collider. Okay, so there's some ammunition stuff. I'm not going to show this to you, but just trust me, it's in the game. If you, so rounds now have unique properties. So if you have rounds with unique properties and you load them into a magazine, their order will be saved, and you can fire them. So this is for things like pellet shotgun or slug shell, or subsonic rounds or rounds that are tracers. That is now possible with the project. Another minor change with ammo is bullets and handguns will now be stationary, and they won't eject if you pull the excuse me, if you pull the slider back. But you have to do it pretty fast to get them to come out. A big change, which is extremely buggy, is you can now stack shotgun shells. I just wanted to show you, even though it's in far from working order, the position and rotation of the shells is very buggy, but it works, and it allows for some really satisfying shotgun reloads. Okay, let me check my notes to see if I'm forgetting anything. Okay. There's a ton of smaller changes that are just not worth mentioning, but they relate to how fast guns rotate and come to the hand, where they are orientated about the hand, just small stuff like that that needs to be done to have a nice cohesive experience. But yeah, I hope I see you guys on the Discord, and I hope I hear some feedback. I just don't want anyone else using this in one of their own projects to get flack for my bugs, because there are a lot of features on here. I do not expect people to pick up a project to need to fix a bunch of basic stuff like sliders. Thanks for watching. Bye.